Welcome, everybody. Oh, I probably should lower that. Well, decided to go live here, and James Van Riemsdyk is still a flyer. I don't understand how. Just I don't I don't understand. So I don't I don't understand how you don't trade Van Riemsdyk. Like, there was supposed to be a press conference for this, and as I'm kind of tweeting this stream out, because I kind of just did it just last second here. Wow, I don't understand. I really don't. This is moving this stuff over. Yeah, so they don't trade Van Riemsdyk, and let's see what some of this stuff says. See, here's Chuck.
Summer, you have an opportunity next year, and there's going to be opportunities to make good deals for some of those players, but it didn't happen this time. In terms of players on expiring contracts, again, we moved two players today and two others we didn't, and it wasn't for lack of effort. Again, you need to for the rental type of market, you need a team to want to acquire a player and make you an offer.
I guess there's an element here, though, where yes, these moves could be made in the summer, it could be made next year or whatnot, but the team has struggled for years, and obviously you're trying to stay in your position. I guess, is there a concern that this shows that you aren't able to do the rebuild you guys want to do in terms of how ownership looks at it?
Yeah, look, Charlie, I said last time our goal is to get younger. We do want to add more young assets. We are a younger team this year. We do have some pieces in Lehigh Valley and elsewhere that we think could be part of the solution going forward. We do have some veteran players on our team, some players, mid-range age guys that we think can be a part of this too as we go forward. And we're going to just continue to look at every opportunity to get better. And the trade deadline was one opportunity. There was not fair deals, in my opinion, to be made. There are some things that potentially could happen in the summer, and as we go forward, we'll just continue to look at those opportunities. But we will get younger. We're going to continue to add more young assets, and we're going to continue to build this up.
Sure. A few more. With you've expressed the need for high-end talent. Cutter Gauthier is having a great season down at Boston College, or up at Boston College, I should say. Is there a possibility that the Flyers are willing to extend an ELC to him? I spoke with him last week. He said he was going to sit down with his friends. His family and the Flyers in an interview with me. Have the Flyers reached out in any way? And does the lack of success this particular trade deadline now force the hand to sign Cutter to at least give the fan base, hey, this is something to be proud of, I would say?
Yeah, I don't think you want to even go back to Charlie's last question. I don't think we want to just make moves for the sake of making moves. Like with Cutter, we have to sit down with Cutter and really have a good conversation with Cutter, with the coaches at BC, with their own development people, and out of respect to the fact that they're starting playoffs next week, it's not a conversation you have during the year. We speak with Cutter all the time. I've been up there a few times. Other staff members have been up there. We met with the coaches. I speak with this advisor. And, ultimately the decision we make has to be about what's right for Cutter and his development. He's too important to make a decision not based on what's right for him. And but I think there's conversations that have to be had, and at the end of the season we'll certainly sit down and do that.
Is Brendan Lemieux a guy you're going to look at for the future, or was that deal basically for the 5th round pick?
Yeah, when I spoke with Rob Blake, we spoke about Zach. They had interest. We talked about a 5th round pick, and we thought that was fair. But he said to me, I need a little bit of time. I need to move Brendan Lemieux in order to bring in Zach McEwen. I said, well, I'll just take him, with the 5th, but I'll take Brendan as well. And so he agreed to that. So Brendan's a pending UFA, and we can give him a 20-game trial here to see what he can do. But the deal was for the 5th, and then again, Rob had indicated that for whatever his reasons were, that if he could move Brendan, he would do the deal. So I thought I'd just make it easy on him.
With Patrick Brown, a lot of times on deadline day, guys who win face-offs and kill penalties, they tend to be in demand on deadline day, and they tend to be late in the process kind of deals. How did Patrick's deal come together?
Well, I've been speaking to teams for a while on all of our players on expiring contracts, and I talked to a few teams and just gave them some of my thoughts. I thought Patrick, actually played really well for Vegas in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and his face-offs on the right side are excellent, and he can kill, and he's willing to block shots, and he can really bring an element that teams might need. And a few teams called back, and Ottawa was willing to give a pick. Another team was willing to offer a minor league player back, but I would have just kept Patrick in that case. But the pick was worthwhile, and it gives Patrick a chance to push for a playoff spot as well. But Charlie, I'll just go back to your last question, because I don't know if I answered it as accurately. Look, I understand our fans are really disappointed. The last 2-3 years, there's no question we've been trying to be a competitive team. We've been trying to be a team, in particular 2 years ago, going back to the summer 21, trying to be a team to maximize Giroux on his contract. To be a team that could compete and make a playoff spot. And clearly, I haven't done that. I haven't done that job. There's no doubt. Last year, we had a couple devastating injuries, absolutely, with Couturier and Ellis and even Hazy. This year with Couturier and Atkinson's been very difficult. But that's not the only reason. We need more talent. And that's on me. So I get it. But this is, last summer, I think we were a little tepid. We didn't want to be overly aggressive, I guess, in pursuit of talent, because we did have some concerns about Couturier in particular, and then Farabee had been hurt, and we didn't know what we exactly were going to have going into the year. So we put some kids on the team. We gave them that opportunity. And as we go forward, we recognize we have to get more talent, and we are going to build it. And, in terms of, I'm not worried about my job. Whatever happens with me will happen with me. That's up to Dave Scott. But everything I do is about doing what's right for the Philadelphia Flyers and not taking shortcuts. And that's in part why we didn't make any more deals today. The deals that were presented to me were not good deals for the Philadelphia Flyers. And last summer, being more aggressive was not going to be good for the Philadelphia Flyers. Maybe in the short run, it makes me look better, but we don't want Band-Aids anymore. We want to build this the right way, and we're committed to doing it. And those are my words. My actions will have to back it up, but we're committed to doing it.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was Chuck Fletcher after deadline day. Look, if anybody else, if anybody wants to call in, 267-939-1216, would like to hear your thoughts. Probably going to be live here till about 4:30ish. Okay. I understand that you want to get younger. I understand that not all of the deals could have been there. I understand, look, they were in on Guryanov, they were in on Kravtsov. It's like you have to actually make the move. Like, dear God, I don't understand how you don't move Van Riemsdyk. It's inexcusable. I mean, there is no other way. Like, you can't not move Van Riemsdyk. You just can't. I and for again, no, I played that and it wasn't the whole thing. Wow. I mean, it's just sad. It really is. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't get it. I really do not get it. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. If anybody's got anything, hit me in the chat, or you can call 267-939-1216. The phone sitting right here next to me. Anybody wants to call in. So this is from Pierre LeBrun. Flyers GM Chuck Fletcher says he didn't receive a firm offer for any team on JVR. Says they spoke with one team about a trade concept, but it was conditional on that team making another move, and the move didn't happen. Worked with the market the past few weeks, but no fit. All right, so we're getting a call here. Make sure this is all plugged in. Go ahead,
Chris.
Tristan.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
It's been a little rough for me with our with our Flyers right now, and it's old right now for us.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not ideal.
So I gotta talk to you about these, like, this JVR, and we traded Zach McEwen.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, I'm sorry to say, but Fletcher needs to be fired. He does.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great right now, buddy. I mean, the overall thing is it's very sad to see where this franchise has gone. From the day that he was, was brought here, hired. He didn't have to do much coming in, and since it's just been a total and utter disaster for what these past couple of years have been.
Well, like, you have JV. I barely saw this Instagram story, and one of these guys said, Fletcher could not move JVR. You could. You can.
You definitely can. I mean, for a pick, or something. Like, again, if they were in on Guryanov from Dallas, and that could have been Van Riemsdyk going the other way. Like, it's not like they didn't try, but yeah, Dennis Guryanov.
Yeah, we cannot afford him. He's a good player.
Well, I mean, for Van Riemsdyk, they could have got him, but for what we are and what the Flyers are, and they're supposed to be sellers and they're supposed to be younger. I understand moving McEwen. Chuck said they took Lemieux back.
I love McEwen. He's a good player. He is.
Yeah. Look, I liked McEwen when he was here. I thought he played well. Again, for anybody listening, that full deal was McEwen and to the Kings for Brendan Lemieux and a 5th round pick in 2024. That was it's not a bad deal. Lemieux gets a little bit of a tryout for the Flyers. You get a 5th round pick back for it. The Flyers have shown they can draft well, at least with picks and stuff. It's so frustrating. I don't understand how you don't move Van Riemsdyk.
Like, he music makes $7 million. He's like, he makes like
and to that, the Flyers really should have taken
Goudreau.
No, they should have retained all of the money and moved Van Riemsdyk.
Like, you barely the one main thing is going to kill them. It's going to be connecting. That's the one main thing right now.
Yeah.
And you don't have Victoria. He's supposed to be coming back this week, and I don't see him come back around the rest of the season either.
Yeah.
Like, you barely have JVR. I do love him.
Mhm.
He's a good player, but he barely makes $7 million. Then it's going the wrong direction right now for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great, but yeah, buddy, thanks for calling in.
You too.
All right, man.
Like,
I'll talk to you.
all right.
Have a
Bye.
good one. See ya. Always good talking to Tristan. One thing I wanted to mention, I got a call on that line. I only have one phone, so if I do get a call, it was Jason from the chat. So Jason, if you want to call back, I'll hit you. Yeah. Again, it's frustrating. I mean, Brown is understandable. I mean, I didn't think they were going to re-sign Brown. You get a 6th-round pick for him. Good face-off guy. It's nothing crazy. Like there was. I didn't expect much from the deadline anyway. But not moving Van Riemsdyk is just garbage. Got another call coming in here. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, Chris. It's Sean. How you doing?
Hey, Sean. How are you?
Oh, better than you. I mean, my heart goes out to you, dude. I mean, to have to cover this team on a daily basis. I'm starting a GoFundMe account just for you because you deserve it. I mean, it's terrible.
Well, I appreciate it. For what this is, I'm just gonna be blunt. This is another shit show. I mean, I try not to talk like that, but it is. I mean, there really isn't. Look, I didn't. Again, like I kind of just said. I don't know if you caught it from calling in, but I didn't expect much from this deadline. I really didn't. I thought Van Riemsdyk would be the only one who went, and he's the one who didn't go. For McEwen and look, I don't mind the McEwen deal. I think it's fine for getting a 5th-round pick. Again, they've shown that they can draft. Developing is the issue. For Brown, Patrick Brown, but yeah, it's a joke, man. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Chuck Fletcher is the captain of the Titanic, and it hit the berg, and it's sinking to the bottom.
It hit the berg 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It's still
I mean,
sinking
it
to the
hit the
Atlantic.
berg when Ed Snyder died. I mean, look, you have corporate running this team. They don't give a rat's ass about hockey in general. Ed Snyder not only loved the Flyers, but he loved the sport of hockey. I mean, it was a passion for him.
Yeah.
And, ever since his passing, it's just my thing is I just don't know what the end game to all this is and who's going to come in and dig this team out of the dirt.
The biggest thing is going to be the summer. Whatever happens over the summer is the teller, because they weren't. I didn't think, at least in my opinion, they weren't making any Provorov deals or Hayes deals, or if they were to even trade those guys, I don't think they were going to move those guys anyway. Now.
With your vast connections, can you call the National Hockey League office and rig the ping pong balls so that maybe Connor Bedard can land in the lap of the Flyers?
I've been starting to hop on the Bedard train, even though it's not like I wasn't on it already, but I'm just thinking to myself, man, it would be really nice if we got Connor Bedard. Yeah,
dude, I'm the conductor of the Bedard train. Come on down. I mean, I remember how bad this team was before Lindros got here, and they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And when Eric Lindros came in,
it changed the whole thing. Yeah.
No, it did. I mean, it pretty much instantaneously. And I mean, I know they're going to need a lot more than Connor Bedard, but at least you would have something.
Yeah.
This team needs generational talent, and a lot of it.
Yeah.
So start with that. I mean, you pull your strings, Chris. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, look, they need to get lucky. Look, you need a Cutter Gauthier guy to, and I like that. And again, that was Jamie Baskow who asked that at the press conference. And I know Chuck kind of denied it that they would sign him, but it's not a bad question, because at this point, what else? I mean, honestly, I'm genuinely curious, because for me, I watch every game, right? I haven't missed a game in, God knows how long. And Sean, I'm sure you're the same way. But you know, for other people and people that are trying to get into hockey, I mean, what the hell do you watch this team for? I genuinely ask
Well,
myself
some
that
people
question
just love
because,
suffering. I mean, they just love pain, blues, and agony, as I do. But even I, you got to wave the white flag after a while.
yeah,
I mean, I feel bad for Tortorella. It's like the guy can coach,
hmm
and you're stuck with this crap. I mean, you're forced to try to make chicken salad out of chicken shit on a nightly basis, and good luck to you with that. I
right,
mean,
yeah. I mean, look, I think the one thing for this is at this point, you need to find something that you can build your team around. Like, we need young centers, and I think they're going to try to do that in the summer. I just think for the rest of this season, it was just like, let's just see what we can get. Because, again, everybody, like, and again, really two things here. My thing after the summer was, and really going into this deadline, is why the hell should I expect anything after what we saw on July 13th? I mean, you completely flubbed Gaudreau, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, we didn't have the money to sign him, whatever. Well, I mean, honestly, what free agent's going to want to come here? What main, and really the free agent market doesn't help us if you want to get younger, center-wise, right? So even that, too. You're killed with cap space. The biggest X factor for next season is Couturier, because if Coots is healthy, they are a better team, but you still have to add. It's not like you're magically going to be top 3 in the Metro. That's not happening. So clearly you're going to have to add something and keep adding. And I don't think that means trade everybody. I don't think Chuck is an idiot in the sense of like, oh, I'm just going to trade this guy, and then just expect, a million things to happen. But today was a total failure. I mean, you moved out 2 guys you should have, and Van Riemsdyk. I mean, for whatever reason, the Red Wings pulled out of the deal. I don't know. They said it was pending physical and trade call, so something might have happened. Chuck said he didn't get any offers until 1:40 p.m. yesterday on Van Riemsdyk, so who really knows what actually went down?
well, are you going to go to that dreaded town hall meeting that I heard about? Will you be in attendance shooting pucks at Fletcher's head when he answers the tough questions?
On Saturday, the season
Yeah.
ticket? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
It could, because that's for season ticket holders, so I don't have season tickets.
Oh, well, I thought you would weasel your way into the establishment and just like I would start chucking bottles myself.
For me, actually, I'm heading to the Phantoms game tomorrow. Which will be nice, because if they were to make the playoffs, it would be nice to actually watch something in the organization.
Yeah,
do
real
well.
competitive hockey. What a novel concept. I mean, that's the thing, Chris, that I say is like, to get this thing out of the dumpster fire that it is, you need an engineer. And if Chuck Fletcher's in charge, nothing's going to change. And I'm not confident that Danny Briere is going to do any better. I mean, it's just, there's no end game here. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know who or whom can take this over and steer this rudderless ship back on the right direction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really bad right now. And like I said earlier, if any franchise needs Connor Bedard, it's the Philadelphia Flyers.
I 100% agree. There's no other team in that bottom 7, 8, even 9, really, that doesn't deserve it more than us. No one. There's absolutely no one.
Yeah, which of course means that we have no chance in hell of getting them, because the Flyers never get anything that they want, nor do the fans. But,
dude,
I've got my rabbit's foot. I've got all my good luck charms going. It's bad for Bedard time the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you, dude. I mean,
but we'll probably end up with like the 8th pick overall, and that's the way it always works.
Yeah, I mean, look, even if they don't get Bedard and they end up, because again, in the last 20 games they might win 5 or 6.
That's being optimistic,
right? Well, that too. And again, if they win Bedard, that's the main thing. Winning Bedard is huge.
And Chuck will probably trade the pick after he gets that.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about that, dude.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, dude. Again, thanks for calling in. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, and
Always
like
good
I
hearing
said,
from
I've
you.
got $15 in the GoFundMe account for you, so it's a start. We're making progress.
All right, man. I'll
All
talk
right,
to you.
take it easy.
All right,
All
you
right.
too. Have a good one. Bye
All
bye.
right.
That was Sean from Florida calling in. Yeah. So if anybody else wants to call in, again 267-939-1216. Always good talking with everybody. It's just incredible. It really is. Again, this is gonna count as my basically like recap video as well. So we got another call here. Jason, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, man. I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Doing all right.
As good as you could be right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. For the, what's it called, press conference,
Yeah.
I was watching it on my TV and trying not to curse because my parents were home. And I was like, did you buy it? I didn't buy half of it.
I think for me, the McEwen Brown stuff, yeah, because that's like simple, right? The Van Riemsdyk stuff, no. I mean, you can't you can't tell me you didn't get an offer for Van Riemsdyk
Yeah, like any offer of any kind.
until
not even a fourth-round
yesterday
pick.
at like 2:00. Like, come on, man.
And he's had all season. It's not like it was just today or during the moments of this.
Even last year you could have even tried to move him. I mean, it wouldn't have made any sense, but I'm sure somebody's had to call about the guy. No, I really don't. The stuff about his job security and what he thinks, no.
Well, he talked in circles for half of it, I felt like, and he didn't really sound sincere.
Well, that's the problem. That's what you're gonna get. I mean, like, you're never gonna get a straight answer, right? I mean, the press conferences and all of that stuff. It's not always the most honest answer, but everybody will use it because it's the only thing that you talk in. You know what I mean? It's not like, Chuck's on the phone with, the fans or all this stuff all the time. I mean, I'm sure he's probably going to get grilled on Saturday at the season ticket holder thing.
I was hoping he would have gotten grilled today, but
well, he kind of did, to be honest. And I think that's probably why he circled back on Charlie's question, which was a good question. And that type of stuff. So I mean, I think part of it is you made the deals that you could. Again, I like the McEwen trade. The Brown trade is the Brown trade. I kind of expected that. I didn't expect much at the deadline anyway, but like, how the hell do you not move Van Riemsdyk? That's the one thing that's just like,
either.
I
expected something with that, anything.
Right.
But
yeah,
especially for how much talk there was. He was holding on to a third-round pick. And then didn't Minnesota, for that Greenway guy, get a second and a fifth?
Was it? I think it might have been. I didn't really catch it because I was setting up the stream. But let me...
Yeah, it was like a second and a fifth for a guy who's arguably the same skill as JVR, or if not worse. I was talking to Paul about that earlier.
Yeah, it was a 2023 second and a 2024 fifth for Greenway.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's not...
we get a fourth?
Well, Greenway makes $3 million, and he's got term.
But if we retain the 50%, wouldn't that be like 3.5?
3.5, yeah. But the other thing is too, if we were to trade Van Riemsdyk for Greenway, because that was rumored,
yeah,
you basically would just be filling the same cap space. Like, you'd retain on Van Riemsdyk, but add 3.5, so it wouldn't change your cap. You know what I mean? So like, we'd probably have to give away more to do it. Like, we probably would have to add to that deal. And
he would have probably blown that up too.
Right, exactly. So I don't know, dude. It's just a total failure. It's inexcusable. That's probably the best word for it. It's just inexcusable.
How much longer? Like, he talked about building the right way or whatever. What does that? There's no.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Dude, if I had a crystal ball, I wish I could tell you. I mean,
I know. It's like,
I have no idea, man. I mean, for what this is and how long, first of all, how long this has been. This is already the third season of this debacle. Really, this is a decade long.
Forever.
Right. Well, exactly. I mean, look, you can't be horrible forever, but with the way that they do it, it gives me no reason to actually think that they're going to be somewhat watchable. Well, I mean, they're watchable to me at least, but the just good again. I mean, I used
yeah,
to
if
sit
you like
there
watching
and,
hockey, you'll watch hockey, but it just depends on how good they are.
right, exactly, and that's the biggest thing. So I don't know, dude. We'll see, but yeah, thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yep,
Always
no
always
problem.
enjoy talking to you.
Yep. All right, I'll see you.
All right, man. I'll talk to you. Jason, he's a good dude. Yeah, so again, we got 19 people in here. Anybody else wants to call in? We had like 21 or something like that. Yeah, if anybody else wants to call in, I just had one. Yeah, here we go. Getting them like crazy. Coming in crazy. Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Chris? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I don't know how to feel after today. I sat in school all day checking my phone after every trade, and I didn't see JVR traded, and I'm frustrated. I just can't get angry anymore with this team. Nothing changes.
I hear you. I mean, it's very similar. It really hasn't changed. It's just constant. Like there's so. It really doesn't change, man. I mean, I hear you. I would look at Twitter the past couple days, trying to find something to talk about and find something. I had a feeling that the Ratcliffe move on Sunday night at like 11 o'clock was going to be a teller of something. I'm like, all right, it frees up a contract. It's a little bit of cap space. I'm like, well, now they have all week, and then they didn't do anything until Friday. And then I was kind of thinking, like, yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything until Friday. Like, after Wednesday, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I got home, and I realized it was 3 o'clock. I saw Brown traded, and I didn't see JVR, and I was just like, I mean, I can't believe what you're doing, Chuck Fletcher. I try not to get angry anymore, but you want to get high-end talent. You say you want to get high-end talent, and no offense to Nick Deloria. I think he brings an element to the team that we didn't really have, and I think that's the reason why Ewan's gone now.
Right.
But Deloria is not high-end talent, like, at all. No disrespect to him. He's in the NHL.
No, I hear you. I agree. I think, look, and again, I like Deloria too, and it's not a knock at him. It's more of Chuck.
Exactly.
I think for sorry, I pulled away from the mic. I think for right now, for what we are, again, I agree we have to get younger. We have to do something. Again, I didn't expect any bigger moves at this deadline. I didn't expect Provorov. I didn't really expect Hayes, right? Any of those other guys. I thought it was dumb to move Sealer.
They look good this year.
Yeah, and again, we need players. We need guys we can not necessarily market, but just have let guys play. That's part of the, for me, it's smart in a way, keeping some of those guys, right, but not moving Van Riemsdyk, not capitalizing on that. It's inexcusable, and for what we are, and what they need to do, unfortunately, it's just they haven't really been able to do it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't get it. Like, if Chuck isn't gonna pull the trigger on something where you could get someone for JVR, just buy him out at this point. It frees up $7 million.
Well, I mean, at this point, he's a UFA, so they're just going to let his contract run out.
Yeah.
So he'll be UFA after this season. So he's a Flyer for the rest of the year, and he actually played out his full 7. He's going to play out his full 7 years, which is insane to me. Or full 5 years, right? Yeah, 5 years, 7 million. I said 7. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is.
Yeah. I just can't get frustrated anymore because, I mean, it looks like we're trying to do something. Chuck is saying he's going to do something, and he just doesn't do anything. Seems like he's a liar that can't say he's a liar to the media either. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. It really is, especially when you continue to have flubs like this. I mean, free agency was kind of flubbed a little bit with not getting Gaudreau.
Yep.
Now you have this where you don't move out Van Riemsdyk. It's like you could have done something here, and they weren't able to do it. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, I understand it's really hard to be a GM in the NHL, and I knock Fletcher a lot, but I mean, just come on, man, come on.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I mean, some stuff is just like you have to do it. You have to.
Yeah.
Even if last minute, you know, it's just it's just frustrating. I mean, that's really the best way I can put it to you right now.
There's literally no other way to put it, in my opinion. I just watched the trade. I think I've said this 100 times.
Yeah.
I saw teams get good depth players that could play. Like Sundqvist won to another team. I can't remember what team.
Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah, Minnesota. There's just moves like that.
Yeah, like Montreal got Guryanov, the Canucks got Kravtsov. You know, who you just said, like, that's the type of deals we need to make. You know, we need to go out and get and you know, maybe in the summer they go out and get those guys. I mean, right now, again, I didn't expect much of that, but I did think Van Riemsdyk could have gotten a decent. Like I had heard that a couple days ago it could have been a first. Then earlier this morning it was a second or third, and then he didn't get moved. So I mean, look, it's just unfortunately that's where it is right now.
Yeah. But, so for Chuck, what isn't enough for JVR? Like, I think a third-round pick is great for him. A second-round pick would be amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't have a second-round pick for the next 2 years. I mean, obviously, you can add on draft day, and they've done that. You know, they traded up in 19 to get Bobby Brink. Like, you know, they've done different things where Chuck's been able to, you know, kind of add some picks here and there. But, you know, getting fifth for Macewen was good. Getting and Lemieux, that is, as well. Getting, you know, the sixth for Brown, that's fine. Probably the best you could have gotten. But there needed to be more of you needed to capitalize more, and they just didn't. So unfortunately, that's kind of where it is right now. But yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. But thanks a lot, dude, for calling in.
Yeah, no problem, Chris. Have a good day.
Yeah, man, you too.
I feel so bad that you need to cover this team every day, like Sean said.
It's all right, dude. I love it anyway, so it's all right. All right.
Have a good day.
Thanks, man. You too.
No problem.
Get another caller as well. How you doing?
Hey there, Chris. This is Toda, man, from Philly. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Yeah, just, you know, I know that everybody's frustrated, and that's the, you know, the thing that everybody's really talking about. But the thing that I'm wondering here is what, you know, and he skips around it all the time on what the plan is here, because, you know, we're sellers. So now, since we didn't sell at the trade deadline, you don't have even a good amount of pieces in the off season now coming up to make those trades. Like Kevin Hayes, you know, what are you going to get for him in the off season? You know, to try to push this team forward. You know, I just don't see with the assets we have how he could even sell and then move this team to the 2-3 year, 5 year mark to get us in contention.
Yeah. Now, for Hayes, I'll start there, I guess. For Hayes, you'd have to retain money, and at least half if you want to get something. I mean, it's a big contract. I know the cap's going to go up. You know, you're going to have to retain money at some point. If they were to trade him, they'd have to get somebody younger. Like, again, and you know, I know Torts mentioned it the other day on the radio. You know, you'd have to do some sort of cap move to actually make that work. Maybe you'd have to move out another player before, or, you know, add guys into the deal like we saw with the Giroux thing. They added, that wasn't really cap reasons, but, you know, they added Bonneman, Rubtsov, right? You know, I think there are some guys that you can move in the summer. Again, I don't think Chuck's going to be an idiot in the sense of going out and just trading like Farabee, Frost, like Hart, you know what I mean? Like things like that we see all the time. But I do think at some point you're going to have to move on from some of these guys. I mean, you're going to have, because you have no leverage, you have no cap space. So, you know, with the cap going up, that's kind of just like a hope that the cap goes up.
Yeah, and if it does, I mean, I've seen and I follow the reports, and they say if it goes up to even 2 million in the best, our projected cap hit is 86 million. We have zero cap space right now.
Yeah.
And that's even after today with just those minor moves. So really, if you're like looking at it, it's like you got to move Hayes, you got to try to move Provy, and you got to try to move one of either Risto, D'Angelo, or Sanheim to even consider having enough cap to get into getting some of these young guys.
Right.
And that's when I'm looking at it, of course I'm pissed that he hasn't done anything now, and he says we're sellers, and I'm like, maybe we'll get the third for JVR, and that's what I was hearing over the last couple of days and seeing everything on Twitter. But like just actually looking at the numbers, even just going on Cap Friendly and looking at everything, it's like there's not even real good pieces to move. And even if they move those pieces, I have the biggest feeling I have is that the trade fell through not because of that other team couldn't get it done, to get him to Detroit.
Yeah.
I feel like other GMs do not want to work with him. And because we've seen all Chicago's been making moves to get it. All the other teams underneath us are making moves to get it done.
Yeah.
And I think they look at him and they go, easy target. I don't want to deal with it. He's going to be asking for more than I really want to give.
Right.
And he put himself in a corner, and I'm just going to let him drown. Right. And I feel like that's what we're feeling. I don't think that any GM in the NHL wants to do business with him.
I think the problem, and again, kind of like what I was saying, he's got no leverage in the deal. So a lot of the trades he's making are the easier moves that are like you can't really get screwed on. The McEwen, the Brown, like the Giroux deal was a pretty good trade for right now. I mean, for what it is, Tippett looks like he's got 18 goals on the season. It's worked out.
Yeah, and I agree with you there because when the Giroux trade happened, of course I hate it because Giroux was my favorite. Right. I know Voracek was your favorite, and it's a shame what's happening with him right now.
Oh, dude.
That kills me to watch because I have his jersey too. I love Voracek.
Oh yeah, I got one. I got one sitting right above me, and I got another one right to my right here in my room.
I see it in all your videos, and I know that's why you have the 93 in there.
Oh yeah.
But
it's a beauty.
At the time, I was like, damn, but I know that he had his hands tied. Kind of what the Patrick Kane deal was this year.
Yes, exactly.
For Chicago. And if you do look at it, apples to apples, we made out better than what Chicago made out there. So I have to give it a little bit of a win there. But, moving forward as a Flyers fan, for life, as I've been for 32 years,
good for you.
Looking at the thing, it's the most. I don't think we've ever been in a situation that has felt this hopeless. And
no, we never have. No.
You know?
The only time they were relatively this bad was the first year they started. And that was the first year they started. So, you know what I mean? And then the next season they made the playoffs. So it really didn't matter at that point. And they actually had a losing record that year and made the playoffs. But, you know, obviously that's a long time ago. And, you know, for what they are, I mean, dude, it's embarrassing. It really is. I mean, look, I know people have kind of said, like, you know, oh, they feel bad and all this stuff. Like, look, I mean, I love this stuff. You know, I love, you know, sitting here and just kind of sitting in my room doing this stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like I'm never going to not love it. I just think for what they are, you know, I understand why everybody's upset. I mean, I can't, you know, be mad at anyone for being upset. I agree. I don't think unfortunately, I started watching this team in 2012-13. And since I started, they've been absolutely garbage for the most part. And, you know, it sucks for me to say because they're my favorite team. Obviously, I mean, I'm sitting in a room with 4 orange painted walls looking like a maniac. You know, and for what the Flyers are, it's unfortunate because, again, and I said this earlier, for other people that aren't like me, that watch every single game and look at every little detail and, all of the little things from the forecheck, the play in the neutral zone, defensively, the, shots, all that stuff, who actually watches this team to just watch this team? Like, who's like, who goes home at night and sits down and says, oh, I'm going to put the Flyers on? It's not a fan. You know what I mean?
It's the fans that here, or it's really like, for me, I grew up playing hockey, and it's like the only sport I watch. But I watch every other team, but I only root for the Flyers because grew up in Philly,
right?
Played in Philly, so that's my team, and it's been my team forever,
right?
But and I watch other teams, and when I'm watching other teams play. Just kind of last year when you watched like teams like Florida and Colorado, and they were just like light years, it seemed, ahead of people with speed, the way they pass the puck. We just don't have that. We don't have anything close to it. We don't have anybody that's even knocking on the door of that. And there's not really anybody on the roster that you can say that, oh, if we package these pieces, we're going to have it. It's hard looking at the numbers, and we have like 7 or 8 we have 3 UFAs going into this off season and 4 RFAs.
Right. Look, the biggest UFA going into this offseason would have been Sanheim, but they signed him the night of opening night to the extension. So really, for again, I just want to kind of put it out there as well. Like, I'm not really mad at this deadline. It's just frustrating with Van Riemsdyk. Like the other 2 trades, again, I've mentioned a couple times now. Like, I didn't mind them. But again, going off of, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The big piece, like that's the priority, is get that big piece out, at least for now.
Yeah.
Because now he finished out his contract with us. His 7x7 he finished out, and now you get nothing.
Right.
So you retain the 50%, you get something. At that point, I would say get the 5th. Get the 5th pick.
Yeah.
Even though we don't have it, I would have loved to see in a second. Everybody would have loved to see in a second because we don't have any for 2 years now.
Right.
But if they're saying that this draft this year is supposed to be one of the deeper ones, try to load up this year.
Yeah, I mean,
as you can get.
Right, exactly. And the thing is with those picks, unless you're a team like the Bruins or the Leafs or Washington or whoever, teams that are really Washington's fallen off. I don't know why I said them, but teams that are contending, Tampa Bay, Vegas, Dallas, the Rangers, like those teams don't care about them picks. Teams like us, San Jose, Chicago, Arizona, Columbus, like they all want those picks, and those picks are pretty valuable. Boston's first round picks got traded around a couple times. Like, it's just, there's different things with this draft, and I know everybody's going to kind of have a different opinion about the draft, but the biggest thing that would help the Flyers this summer would be winning the lottery and getting Bedard.
100%. I mean, there would be nothing bigger for us right now than getting an actual piece that has the potential to be a franchise player.
100%.
Because there's just,
it's just like Crosby in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because our draw coming in from last offseason was, we got Torts. He's going to get us a couple more wins than we have.
Right, exactly. And that's part of the problem. The face of the franchise is the coach. That's the problem. Everything else is the mascot, which is another issue. But dude, Soda Man, right? That your tag?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot for calling in, man. It was a good conversation. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Have a good one. Always love the content.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Right, bye-bye.
See you, man. Awesome. Yeah, this has been fun. Unfortunately, it's a tough conversation to talk about. Anybody else wants to call in? Hit the call-in line 267-939-1216. Again, 267-939-1216. It's unfortunate, man. Yeah, Soda Man, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Again, anybody else hit the line? This is Flyers hockey, man. This is what it is. It's unfortunate. You know, for you know, and I kind of feel bad too because my girlfriend actually really liked Macewen. Was her favorite player, and I was planning on getting her tickets at the carnival to meet him because I'm going to be heading to the carnival this year, and can't do that now, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's just a shame. I mean, I at some point in my life, I'd like to actually watch this team be good for more than a season. The 1920 season feels like I have woken up from a dream, and it's been the same thing since, because it's the only year I've actually watched this team be good. Again, we got 18 people in here. If anybody else wants to call in, going to be going for another probably 15 minutes or so. Probably 5 o'clock. We'll wrap it up. Yeah. So again, the Macewen trade. Flyers trade Macewen to the Los Angeles Kings for Brendan Lemieux and a 5th-round pick in 2024. Not bad. Again, getting another call here from Tristan. Hey, buddy.
Chris, it's me again. So, you barely says you could call, and so I have a few more questions for you.
Yeah.
So, it's barely like the other night against the Flyers and Rangers. It's awful.
Oh yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I actually didn't catch that game because my DVR was giving me an issue. I watched the highlights, read some stuff. Yeah, I mean, the other night, the glaring thing is the attendance. I mean, you can't let fans invade your building. Like, it's
so shitty.
It's not a good look, dude. It really isn't.
Like, how long we're gonna like you barely we have the whole JVR thing then, and Chris, one thing, do you really want the Flyers move Hayes right now?
No, I think if they were to do that, it would be at the in the summer.
What about Provorov?
That's summer too. I mean, I thought all of that stuff would have been the summer. Any of the big moves. I only thought it was going to be Van Riemsdyk or maybe Brown with him. Like, I didn't expect Macewen because I figured he was still hurt, but they activated him today.
But I mean, it seemed like that, but Patrick Brown, he goes to Ottawa with who knows, Paul Giroux.
Brassard,
and Brassard too. But as you know, the whole Brassard thing, he wasn't healthy with us last year.
Right.
Like, you see, I'm not a Flyer fan. I'm a Flyer fan right now because I'm sitting on my bed wearing a Seattle Kraken shirt on right now. Yeah, like I'm barely looking at Seattle right now because that's a great team right now for us.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, Seattle's a good team. It would be nice if Flyers could get there at some point.
Yeah, like it's like Chris. It was an embarrassment when they lost 7-0 last Saturday, and I said to myself, I need to turn this game off.
Oh yeah, I stormed up my steps after it was 7-0 and came in and did the video, and I was stewing for a little bit. Not good, dude. Not good at all. It's unfortunate.
So, do you guys play the Red Wings on Sunday?
Yeah, Flyers played Red Wings. Yep.
Red Wings. You guys have Tampa.
Tampa, Carolina. I'll be in Carolina for that.
I'll be at the Pittsburgh Philly game actually. That'll be fun to watch.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Next Saturday. We're in the watch party here on YouTube. If anybody in the chat wants to, hop in for Saturday.
Obviously, I'll chat it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah,
so
that'll be good.
right.
Where you sitting?
The 80s, like the high, the
Up
higher.
high? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's cool though. I mean, enjoy. It should be fun.
So,
Hopefully they win for you.
who's your favorite player for this season for the Flyers? Tippett? Tippett?
Um, no, I'm gonna say Ristolainen. Ristolainen's played really well to me. I've actually really liked watching Risto this year. There's been a lot that's been good with that.
Obviously, is better than Sanheim because Sanheim is one of the frustrated defensemen to watch. Actually,
Yeah.
it goes higher and lower with him. And my favorite player for this season for the Flyers is Casey, Tippett, and Konechny.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, a lot of guys have played well, but some have been all right. But
all right. One more question, then I have to leave.
Yeah.
What do you think about D'Angelo this season?
I think he's been okay. I for the defensive stuff that's him. That's Tony's game. I mean, you can't really change that. He's still young enough to go ahead.
I mean, obvious. The one I mean in him, it's his turnovers.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, in his own end, he's certainly better than Gostisbehere. Everybody says, "Oh, it's like it's not like Ghost."
Did you saw that Gostisbehere trade to Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh, go up with that one because.
Yeah, Ghost. I like Ghost when he was here, but he should have been shipped out like a year or two before. At that point,
terrible. He's terrible.
He's not. Yeah, he's not that great. For in his own end, he's a disaster. And for D'Angelo, he's not great either. But I think Tony. You can still work with Tony because he's young enough to where if Shaw could turn around Ristolainen and make him into a player, I'm sure as hell he could do it with any other defenseman. York's been good, Sealer.
Let's talk about the Yorkie thing real quick. I mean, I'll give credit with Torts. Tortorella, like beginning of the year, York was supposed to be playing beginning of the season. Then next, Tortorella said how you hyper defense
right.
a little bit more.
Yeah. No, exactly, and for York, like. You wanted him to come in and play those type of minutes and play well, and he has. I mean, he's played really good. Again, his gap control is really good. It's one thing I've raved about with him.
Obvious. I was thinking about getting a jersey for a minute, but it's not for him, not this season.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you calling in. Always good talking to you. Second time, but yeah.
I'm about to watch.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, bye.
All right, see you, man. All right, that was Tristan. So again, little recap here. Flyers trade Macewen to LA for Brendan Lemieux and a 5th-round pick in 2024. Not a bad deal. That trade is kind of understandable. Patrick Brown is traded to the Ottawa Senators for a 6th-round pick in 2023. And Riemsdyk does not get dealt. There was only one team that looked like to be involved. It was the Red Wings. I don't know if that's completely true, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So get a little towards 5. We've been on this for about an hour. So again, thanks everybody so much. Always good. Again, this was like a last minute type plan type thing. Like I kind of just threw this together. I do this more often where it's like scheduled and there's legit stuff for it and everything, and it's more of a structure. I kind of just took calls and wanted to get everybody's reactions and everything, so I really always enjoy doing that stuff and talking to you at home. So yeah, thanks everybody. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Always good talking Flyers here on YouTube. So thanks everybody so much for calling in, and yeah, Flyers didn't do much, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll see. Thanks guys. Talk to everybody soon. Have a good one.